Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the light. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
The pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong. Together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. In the night or in the day, girls will light and lead the way. Justin's heart and they'll support. Together we will hold the fort. Lily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Click play and come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Hit the like and share. brain.
Well, hello, my beautiful pearls. It's so good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate your time. I feel like I haven't been around the last few days, even though I did a live yesterday, just with the camera problems, and I've been working on a little documentary and stuff. So it's so good to be with you guys today. Today is actually, you could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable. My mic is off. And you chose to be right here. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today is May 26, 2025. It is currently 6:52 p.m. We'll get it. I'm a little rusty from after a few days. Really do appreciate you all so much for joining me. First, before we get started, I just wanted to give a big, genuine thank you to everyone who showed up yesterday to support the fundraiser for St. Jude and the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. A lot of creators took part in that yesterday, and to my subscribers who was able to be there and who was able to just be there in general, and of course donate, thank you. Whether you donated, shared the stream, or just showed up because you care, you made an impact. Together we raised across the community $18,500, and that's something we can all be proud of. That's real help for real kids, and it shows what's possible when we put our differences aside and focus on what matters. We may not always agree on everything, and that's human. That's the human condition. But this is something that we could all stand behind, and it proves we can work together when it counts. So big thank you and congratulations. $18,500 raised. So that's amazing. That's amazing. That will do a lot of help with national missing and exploited children, and as well as St. Jude. They are two that I strongly believe in. I think with national missing and exploited children, 92 somewhere around there, I think it's 92 cents of every dollar goes into national missing and exploited children, and 89 cents of every dollar goes in to St. Jude, and that is phenomenal. So amazing. Thank you all so much. We're going to be talking about Lilly and Jack Sullivan today. A lot has been going on the last few days, and we got to get to it. First, I want to thank Melanie. Thank you so much, Melanie. Good to see you, my dear. And thank you for being a member, Melanie. It's so good to see you. Really is. Thank you, my friend. And there is my angel. How you doing, AJ? Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Always such a pleasure in seeing you, sweet angel. And thank you so much for all you do in the community as well. Sylvie, hello, darling. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that super sticker. Really do appreciate that. And guys, how you can help is you can share this live out that on your social media. That gets the word out, right? Any of your social media, that helps tremendously. Hit that thumbs up. If we get to 1,000 thumbs up during this live, we have a chicken party. I have a new celebration thing when we do our chicken party as well. You can also help with the goal. That helps as well, or become a member of the Pearl family. Those help as well. If we get to the goal, I am giving away this 14 karat plated necklace with pearls at the end of this live. If we get to the goal, no pressure, but if we do, I'll send it to you at the end of this live. I'll make sure it's sent straight to you. Do you know my Facebook? I'm in your group too. Thank you, Soldier Girl. Really do appreciate you. We have a group on Facebook as well. If I see you or one of the mods has the link, please join us over there on Facebook. We put a lot of cases over there, and it's a community where, we can talk. We can't get to, obviously, I can't get to all of the cases that we talk about, but at least we can get noticed and we can share them out as much as possible. So there's that. Hello, Miss Maria. Thank you so much, Miss Maria. Really do appreciate you, darling. Good to see you. Thank you, Amos. Appreciate that as well. Good to see you. Hello, Miss Shelley. Good to see you. Linda, Ginger, Aimlessly, Casey, Leslie, Whistle. You switched your name. It's so hard when you guys switch your names. I can't remember. Princess, good to see you. Soldier Girl, Peggy, Leslie, Marie, Marie, never give up. Carol, Robin, hello everyone. Really do appreciate you. Lakeside, hello my friend. Lisa, thank you so much for your support, my dear. I really do appreciate that. Can't do it without you, my friend. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Miss Lisa. Hope you're well. So, the thing about, a lot of these cases is the media only sticks around for so long, don't they? They really only kind of stick around for so long. And then it's on to new news, right? While so many of these kids are still missing. And I'm just someone that gives a damn. I'm not scared to ask the hard questions. I try to do it respectfully, and with some class. I still don't think this case is getting the national attention that it deserves. But, let's be real. If we wait on the mainstream media to, continue covering it, we'll be waiting forever. I'm just here because these children matter. Every life matters. Everyone deserves to be found. The facts are not adding up in this case. And because somebody has to speak up and continually keep the pressure on. So that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to do. I don't see it in any of our news here in Canada. Everyone's just pretty much, that's it. That's it. We'll give them, a week or two, and then on with the next one. On with the next one. Well, Lilly and Jack are still missing. And someone knows the answer. Someone knows where Lilly and Jack are. Someone has to know. Because in my opinion, there is no way that Lilly and Jack, a 4 and a 6-year-old child, walked out on their own. Can it happen? Yes. But they should have found something. You have twice as likely, because there's 2, finding someone. And there's not even a cent. And the stories don't add up. Has anyone seen this case on the U.S. news? I've not seen it on big media. No. Nope. Nope, not at all. And listen, whether you're, a 5-year-old little blonde-haired country girl from Tennessee and your parents, have uh, done some shady stuff in the past, or you come from a middle upper class home like Sebastian Rogers, or you come from, the country in a trailer in Nova Scotia, every single life matters. Every one of them. These are children. They don't pick the circumstances that they're born into. None of us do. None of us pick the parents that we were born, uh, that God gave us. We didn't pick the country that we were born into, our economic circumstances, none of that. They're innocent, innocent children, and they need to be found. All right. So, some things are kind of going on here, and there's some aunt and some family members that are kind of coming out and speaking to the fact of what they, their claims. So we're going to kind of talk of what's kind of been going on behind the scenes. Things are kind of heating up within the paternal side of the family. There is Daphne, the children's great aunt. She's the biological father of Cody's aunt, I think it is. And she's been speaking out more publicly and emotionally. She's made some waves online after posting, kind of updates that people have been taking a lot of notice to. Now, Daphne has some bold theories. These are her theories. And so I'm just telling you hers. That I'm not saying these are mine. But she says that Lilly and Jack would never have wandered into the woods. The family's dogs would have barked if someone tried to abduct them. So there has to be, that was one of my questions. Is there a dog on this property? Right? They have chickens and stuff. You'd think they would have a dog, right? You'd think they would have a dog. Does anyone know? I mean, she says there's a dog, but is there really a dog? Does anyone know? And there is so much misinformation in this case. And I'm trying to, we're trying to point out just the facts and clear up the BS. I think there is a dog. Okay, we'll see. That's I don't know. It's crazy. Lisa, thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you, love. How you doing, Miss Lisa? Good to see you, honey. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for being a member. Purple Dragon Shield. Hello, darling. Good to see you. Thank you for joining the fundraiser yesterday. Everyone did a great job. Thank you. Thank you, Purple Dragon. Really do appreciate you. And thank you for being a member, my friend. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this. Instead, she suggests that they might have left trying to catch the bus. And that's kind of been a theory of some people. I don't buy it. I don't buy that theory, in my opinion. But her biggest claim is that someone close to the family took them, possibly on a ATV or a vehicle, that they were never in the woods at all. Daphne flat out said that, quote, they were taken off the land by someone close to them. They're not in those woods, so stop searching, end quote. She even went as far as saying police should interrogate certain people for hours to see who breaks. And she insists that in her heart, the kids aren't anywhere near Lansdowne Station. And, the bus doesn't work for me. It just does not work for me. I don't think those kids got on the bus. I don't think that they went out to the bus. But I do think, in my opinion alone, that someone, mom and stepdad, equally know what happened. I was noticing something today in Daniel's interviews, because I'm constantly digging and researching in these cases, and was noticing a theme about what Daniel and mom, to a degree, just one interview for her, has repeatedly in every interview spoken about. And we'll get to that here kind of shortly. Daphne, Daphne speculated that the kids might be in Halifax Harbor, which is over 90 minutes away. Why that location? Why not somewhere closer? I don't get this. It's so specific, and that people are questioning whether she's just guessing or if she knows more than she's letting on. To be extraordinarily clear, there's no public evidence that support Halifax theory in any way possible, at least publicly. And people are already spiraling, into just different theories. It's insane. The one big flag in this case is that nobody has seen these children outside of the home after that Tuesday, which, in my opinion, I was kind of thinking, all right, they got off the bus Tuesday. There was no school Wednesday. No school Wednesday. Thursday, they were out of school again. I think something happened, in my opinion, just my opinion. I think something happened Tuesday night or sometimes Wednesday. She kept them home. You know what I mean? Kept them home Thursday because of a cough, an alleged cough. And then Friday again. And then Friday, she had to say something. Where's the real father live? Real father, he is on like a home confinement. And he really has not been involved at all. Thank you so much, Lakeside Lawyer. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Bring those babies home and pursue justice. Amen. Amen. Thank you, my good friend. Good to see you. Really do appreciate you. But where could they be? Now, we do know that it seems like RCMP is really looking out further now on these trail cameras and looking all the way to April 27th or 28th. But I think something happened Tuesday after they got off the bus, or Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, we can't say that there was a party. We can't. That's just one person that said that there was a party, and there's just nothing else to verify that. Again, I mean, There could have been a party, but just one person coming out anonymously, that's just not enough. You know what I mean? Now, if this person wants to, you know what? This person, I'm sure, is watching all of us and, that allegedly says there was a party. If there is or was a party that you say happened, bring yourself out and talk about it. It's important if it's true. But we cannot say that in any other way. Um, so we know that Melissa Scott said that there was police asking for surveillance and trail cam footage from April 27th. That's 5 days before the kids were reported missing. This could mean police are doubting the timeline that mom and stepdad gave her. But we know that the kids were in school Monday and Tuesday, right? So that's another question. The Daphne woman, she said she stayed quiet for too long. Quote, "It's hard to hear about your own family. I've kept my mouth shut too long. I hope Lily and Jack are found alive, but if not, I want closure." Um, when asked why Cody, the children's biological dad, hasn't done more to find his kids, she replied, quote, "He doesn't want to be around those people," end quote. So it's a mess. It really is just an extraordinary mess. And I wonder why she brought up Halifax out of all places. Look at what Dragon Lady said. What did she say? Lily, I need some. You're going to have to give me some. You're going to have to give me something. And if you're lying about that, God help you for lying on 2 missing children. If not, if it's true, then just show me the receipts. We need some proof. You know how many times these creators have went live and said, "Oh my God, they've been found." You know how many times I've went live and said, "Oh my God, they've been found." 0, because they want to click you in with just a bunch of BS rather than anything to talk about. I'm from Nova Scotia. There is no update. What a gross thing to say. Yes, block them, mods. Block them. That's ridiculous. There is a lot of rumors going around, and that is just a terrible thing to say if untrue and unsubstantiated. No, they haven't. There's videos saying that too. It's just crazy. There's a channel keeps saying found but not X. Well, listen, if any channel is saying that they have been found, ask them for a receipt. Ask them for a receipt. Listen, if any of us find that Lily and Jack have been found, you're going to see 800 creators live at the same time. And that's right. Do not bear false witness. That's right. Amen. Yes. Yes. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you all for your service. For the ones who, all of them who's Thank you, Doreen. My feeling is maybe Lily and Jack got into something or saw something they shouldn't have. This is so sad. I'm sure hope they find them soon. Thank you so much, Doreen. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that they are found soon too. I don't want this to be another Dylan case, right? In Canada. Don't want this to be a Summer Wells case. Um, uh, you know, a Michael Vaughn case, a Sebastian Rogers case, all of these kids that still have no answers whatsoever. It's really, really sad. All right, so we're going to. I do have some things about what Daphne said, and this is Cody's mom. This is Lily and Jack's biological grandmother. Now, again, Lily and Jack's biological, on the father side, the paternal side, has not really been uh, in Jack and Lily's life, right? But she does say things. And she says the kids didn't even go into the woods in the first place. Plus, they have dogs in the yard, which is if someone, I think she means abducted, she write adopted them, the dogs would have made a noise. I say they were taken. It's hard to read her writing, to be honest with you, off the land by someone close to them and by a quad, meaning an ATV or vehicle, and they are nowhere near the dense woods. So just stop searching because you're not there. I think she means they're not there. You need to put these two people, interrogating them for 2 to 4 hours and see which is going to crack, because I know they're nowhere around the area. Whatsoever in my heart, I know that. So please do an interrogation. They have done interrogations. Tell the mother you're going to take away the baby or take the baby away from her, whatever the case may be, to get her to talk, because something is got to be done before it's too late. I say the kids are probably in Halifax Harbor. I don't know why she says that. It's sad to say, but it is reality. What is in Halifax Harbor? Can someone enlighten me other than people? I mean, there's people in Halifax Harbor. Kenny, how does Daphne know they have dogs? Good question. Good question. That is something I asked long time ago. Water, yes, water's in Halifax, absolutely. Right. Um, that is true. Um, so I find that interesting. Oh, did y'all see this? Just, there's so much bad coming out of this. I wanted to show y'all this because I just want to give credit to you guys. Never cease to amaze me, you guys out there, because you all do such unique things or have unique hobbies, or or a songwriter, or play an instrument, or sing, or sew something, or make posters, whatever. And I know these cases touch your heart like they do so many of us. And this man, he wrote a song about Jack and Lily, and I just wanted to share it with you, just to warm your heart a little bit. There's a lot of negative stuff in the world, and someone who does something positive or that means something in a negative situation is nice.
About
We're going to get to
there
this
was a
stuff here.
girl and boy that went missing in Lansdale, Nova Scotia. a little tribute song. A little girl and a boy went missing one day. It was on Friday morning, the 2nd of May. People went searching in the woods there outside. The 2 little children named Lilly and Jack. The girl was just 6 years, the boy was 4. While others were sleeping, they walked out the door. As time it went by and turned into days, the sign of those children, the news it did say. Where's Lilly and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lilly or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Lansdowne Station, it was their own. In Nova Scotia, 'cause there they did roam. Let's not forget them and let us pray for those 2 little children still missing today. Where's Lilly and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? It's very heartwarming. It's very heartwarming. Whistle, thank you. FY, I hated changing my name to. Oh, why'd you change it? Why'd you change it? Thank you, dear. Appreciate you. 865 says, I feel so bad for Seth. I think he feels abandoned by the few that were covering the case. I understand that, 865. I understand that. And listen, we're still going to cover Sebastian Rogers, but also we're at 15 months. And listen, if you can find some new ideas to, if you guys can find some new ideas that I can cover related to the Sebastian Rogers case, send them to me. Send them to me, because listen, I'll cover it. But I don't know what else to do either. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. All right. Here we go, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. I want to share a common theme that I see in Mr. Daniels' interview. Mr. Daniels' interview. We do need to hear from Ellie. We do. And yeah, I agree. Send them to me, like said. Text me, call me, email me, carrier pigeon, whatever works. All right. Here's a common theme we're going to hear of Daniel. I want to see if you guys notice it.
We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can. And just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in a military outfit said I could go back into the woods.
Okay. There's one.
As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the
The key thing is he wants to let you know that he is searching. that he is searching constantly. The first day I wasn't around that much because I was just searching. That's, in my opinion, very concerning. I feel like he is getting ahead of the story, saying the reason why he was not around that much, right? On the count 3, let's do a Pearl Pounds. Hit that thumbs up. Yes, girl. How you doing? Thank you so much. Sweet Candace, good to see you, babe. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Pale Rider, hope the storms are okay, honey. From the first day, like days have gone by. Yes, yes. And I don't think that's well. I think
Woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt. I hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only 2 prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it.
okay, that's the first time out of all of the interviews, that he talks about how Lilly and Jack might be feeling, right? How Lilly and Jack might be feeling. It's, I was walking in water up to my waist. I was in my car and, going up dirt roads. I was going up to culverts, checking them. I was running. My throat hurts, kind of thing. Not how Lilly and Jack would be feeling. They're the 4 and the 6-year-old. It's not really how you feel or any of us feel. It's about how Lilly and Jack feels at the moment, what they would be experiencing, not what you experienced. And also, when was this going up to the waist? When were you going up to the waist, walking in the water? Was it the first day? Was it the first day? Because you said you was in your car. Did he come back wet? We don't know. And then we called this out. We discovered it last week whenever he states in one of the interviews, we just played it actually, he says that the RCMP was already there by the time he got back. In a written quote with an interview that he did, he said that they waited for the RCMP. Very, very, very different things. Yes, Carol, we're going to cover it later this evening.
Anybody who has any information, or you think you've seen something or hear something, or any messages from friends about hearing something, just contact your local police services. Anything, guys. Anything. You're still searching, still fighting to try to find them. That's all I can do.
The message is
Listen.
If anybody knows anything, just come forward as soon as possible. 2 little kids are still out there. I want to find them. That's really all I can do. Still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods.
I can't just go running through the woods, is what he says. He says, I'm still searching. But then he says, I can't just go running through the woods. So, I mean, running through the woods is one thing. But when Lilly and Jack went missing, you were allegedly running through the roads and culverts and ponds for 2 hours. That's what you said you were doing. I don't understand. I really can't grasp this. That, oh my God, you notice your kids are missing. You both jump up and you just immediately jump in your car and you start going up roads that are near and far from your home, and they've only been gone 20 minutes? Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense, to just get in your car and start going up dirt roads after them, a 4 and a 6-year-old, being missing for 20 minutes. Why? And that should set the red flags going off. Right? I mean, how far is a 4-year-old going to get in 20 minutes with, a heavy diaper? Do you know how thick the woods are there? Even the search rescuers say they cannot hardly get through it. But you're already going through dirt roads and culverts and running through ponds after 20 minutes. And why? Why wouldn't you want help? 2 hours for children to be just walking out into the woods is a long ass time. Seconds matter when a child is missing. Seconds matter. And y'all are waiting 2 fucking hours? What the hell is wrong here?
I want to, but I just can't right now because it's to search one
Listen to
find
that.
them. If anybody knows anything, just come forward as soon as possible.
Hold on. Look what he says right here. Hold on. He says he's searching, and then he says he just can't wander through the woods.
You're still searching, still fighting to try to find them. That's all I can do.
The message is still, if anyone knows anything.
If anybody knows anything, just come forward as soon as possible. 2 little kids are still out there. I want to find them. That's really all I can do. Still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the searchers are so far out.
He wants to, but he just can't, even though he says he's searching. That's the, and he does kind of, dog the mom a little bit. She's like, she's not out here. I'm the only one out here, which is sad. And listen, I give Daniel credit for the one speaking on Lilly and Jack, even though I don't necessarily believe him, in my opinion, but I give him the credit that he's at least the one able to and willing to stand in front of the cameras and speak about what happened. Mom, the mother of Lilly and Jack, is doing nothing. And I always say this in missing persons cases. Imagine you go missing as a kid and you're out there, right? And your mom or your dad you don't see them searching for you. You don't hear them speaking about you. It's like you would be so crushed. Just another day, not speaking on my kid. Like, that doesn't make sense. So it must, in my opinion, say something is not wrong here, because that is a natural thing to do. They call it, mama and papa lion. Something, goes on with your kids. You're there to protect them and make sure that they're okay. And when they're out of, where you don't know where they are, that should go into overdrive. You got mom moved out, changed her profile, deleted photos, but that's done, a couple minute interview, and that's it. 3 weeks into this. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I just can't. I don't understand. Shouldn't they be charged for child neglect? I mean, if they can prove it, yeah. If they can prove it, absolutely. But, they gotta be able to prove it. Sandy Johnson, I'm late. What I miss? You missed a late slip, girl. Sandy Johnson to the office, please. You're being paged. Sandy Johnson to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for Sandy Johnson, please. Good to see you, Sandy. All right, credit goes to my friend and yours, the big DD, Deception Detective. Link is provided in the description for the replay crew. Make sure you're sub up to Deception Detective and become a member over there if you can. I'm sure you would appreciate that as well. Always love hearing
very
them.
afraid at Lilly and Jack's paternal side of the family. Check this out. Someone told me about this post in my live stream yesterday that I did on this channel about Lilly and Jack. After the live stream, I went look for it, and yeah, it's pretty shocking, actually. She's mad. She said the kids didn't even go in the woods in the first place. Plus, they have dogs in the yard, which if someone adopted them, I think that means abducted them, the dogs would have made a noise. I believe there's one dog. I don't know whether there's more than one dog.
That's YouTuber Michelle After Dark apparently breaking a scoop about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan from Nova Scotia. The only problem is, I don't think it's real. So in today's video, let's go over why hearsay, unsubstantiated rumors, and other gossip are so dangerous. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives, early access, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. If you're watching this video, I assume you're at least familiar with the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan because it's been international news, and I've been covering it since the day the kids were reported missing. So rather than recapping the case, I want to quickly go over what I consider when I'm analyzing a case, whether it's pop culture, true crime, or current events. Of course, I prefer to work with statements directly from the suspect's mouth. After all, they're the only one who truly knows whether or not they're guilty. But sometimes the suspect...
This is the thing. When it comes to the Daphne woman, right? If dad was not involved in Lilly and Jack's life, right? How does she know what is going on? How does she know what's going on? Or even if they have dogs, right? How does she know? I don't believe she deleted pics. I think she allegedly changed the pics of her and Daniel on there and then switched to just pics of something else. Daphne is the bio father's mother, which would be the biological grandmother of Lilly and Jack. But just because you're biological doesn't necessarily mean you know what's happening, right? Take a look at Jack and then take a look at the stepdad. A lot of people say that. I don't think that they're I don't think so, in my opinion, but a lot of people think so.
suspect doesn't make any statements at all, or they make too few for me to form a solid opinion about them, as is the case with Daniel Martel. That's when I'll consider statements that relate through someone else, like their attorney or PR rep if we're analyzing a celebrity, or a reputable journalist. Naturally, that's with a grain of salt.
Guys, hold on. My camera froze. I might have to restart this thing in 1 second, 2 seconds.
Tempers are getting very...
Oops, I restarted the wrong one. 1 second. Okay, apologize for that. All right, here we go. My face froze on that. All right, let's go back.
Apparently relaying something that was posted on Facebook by some distant relative of Lilly and Jack. So I'm already going into this with a ton of skepticism. A, because it's hearsay. B, because there's been no recent updates in the case. So people who are covering the case might be tempted to fabricate information to cover, or might be more willing to conveniently fall for a hoax because it gives them something to cover until there's an actual update. And to be clear, I'm not saying Michelle is doing either of those things, but when she actually shows the messages she's analyzing, I'll point out some issues I have with them. Okay, that's enough preamble. Let's get into it.
In this video, continuing to follow the case of missing 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan from Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia, Canada. Yesterday was International Missing Children's Day, and I believe Belinda is Lily and Jack's paternal grandmother. She posted some cute pictures of when they were little toddlers. Absolutely adorable. What we're going to do in this video is talk about other family members, one in particular, and how her temper has boiled over. Let's go.
Before we get too deep into this, full disclosure.
I mean, what I think Daphne should do, in my opinion, if she is real and if she is frustrated and if she does know, do a video or ask one of the news stations to come in and give you an interview, right? I think that would look far more credible than just posting something on Facebook.
This video was sent to me by one of my lovely subscribers this morning, and when I watched that opening intro, I was already skeptical. A, because it just seemed too convenient for commentators like myself and Michelle for a family member to be having a public meltdown over Memorial Day weekend when there's no news for us to analyze. But also because I think Malia Brooks Murray, Lily and Jack's mom, and her boyfriend, Daniel Martel, have guilty knowledge. And if that's the case, I don't expect them or their families to turn on each other. That's what innocent parents do because they really don't know what happened. So they eventually just start accusing everyone else because they don't know who's actually responsible. As I said earlier, I also have some problems with that screenshot of the Facebook post itself. So I asked my subscribers if they could find a link to it. I even asked Michelle in the comments of this video and over on X if she could send me a link to it. So far, I haven't heard back and no one's been able to produce a link to that original Facebook post. So while we wait, let's keep watching.
Tempers are getting very frayed at Lily and Jack's paternal side of the family. There is someone called Daphne, and she is Lily and Jack's great aunt. She's their biological dad, Cody's aunt, and she's the sister of Lily and Jack's granddad. She has made comments on her social media before and answered questions, but this time she's got mad and she's speaking out. Check this out. Someone told me about this post in my live stream yesterday, what I did on this channel about Lily and Jack. After the live stream, I went look for it.
So
and
Daphne,
yeah,
I see y'all in comments. So
shocking.
Daphne is biologically the biological father of Lily and Jack's mom. That's grandma, biological grandma, not Daniel's mom.
Shocking, actually. She's mad. She said the kids didn't even go in the woods in the first place. Plus, they have dogs in the yard, which if someone adopted them, I think that means abducted them, the dogs would have made a noise. I believe there's one dog. I don't know whether there's more than one dog, but I really don't think that Lily and Jack would have been abducted from the yard. It's practically impossible. A stranger walking up into the backyard to take Lily and Jack, I just can't see it. Now, if Lily and Jack left the property and were, let's say, for example, walking down the road or waiting for the bus, one very logical theory is that Lily was going into Malia and Daniel's room because she wanted to go to school, that she felt better and she wanted to go to school. That's why she took her backpack. That's why she kept coming in to remind them that she wanted to go to school. And as they didn't get up, maybe she got Jack ready and they went to wait for the bus. Maybe they missed the bus and were waiting there and someone picked them up, or they were walking down the road and someone picked them up. I think that's the only way that they could have been abducted by anybody who would be deemed a stranger. Then she says, I say they were taken off the land by someone close to them and by quad or vehicle, and they are nowhere in them dense woods. So just stop searching because you're not there. And people to stop searching. Okay. You need to put these two people interrogation for 2 to 4 hours and see which one's going to crack. Because I know they're nowhere around the area whatsoever. In my heart, I know that. So please do interrogation.
I'm going to pause here because that's as much of this alleged Facebook post as we see in Michelle's video. And that's a problem because there's literally no reason for it to be cropped so tight. We can't see when it was posted, the URL, who liked it, or any sort of context. And even when Michelle said earlier that this post was brought up on her live stream, she didn't say that she found the actual post itself. She just said that she looked for it and that it was shocking. In other words, she may have also only seen these two unverified, uncorroborated, contextless screenshots. And without a link to the original post, we don't even know if the face next to the post is actually the person who posted.
Correction, it's the great aunt. It's the great aunt. She is the great aunt of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. She is the sister of the paternal grandfather, making her the aunt of the children's biological father, Cody Sullivan. So she's the aunt. She is the aunt of Cody.
Posted it. In other words, it finally happened. I finally have to eat my own words. Everything I said so indignantly in my last video in this series about how the Canadian government and media shouldn't be lecturing us YouTubers for speculating about the case, well, they were proven right. Whether this Facebook post is real or fake, the lack of any skepticism or citation is exactly what they were lecturing us about. The only upside is this post doesn't really seem to have anything important or defamatory. As always, when I analyze another YouTuber, it's nothing personal. I'll link Michelle's channel below, and hopefully she can provide me with the link to that Facebook post, and I will have made this video in vain. If you have something else that you think I should analyze, let me know in the comments below. Till next time.
Oh, he's got a sticker of the Deception Jack right there, y'all. How you doing, Mr. Deception Detective? Thank you so much, Lisa. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. Thank you so very much for your support. Look, he's got the Deception deck. Yes, yes. All right, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, I think, I mean, if she wants to speak out, I don't think Facebook, groups is the way to go on that. I understand the frustration, but I also don't know if she actually knows exactly what's going on here. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like Dad was in in the lives of Lilly and Jack that much. So I don't even think she would be at all. And I don't understand why she's talking about going to, what was it, Halifax? Something like that. Like, I don't understand it at all. 1 second. All right. This is interesting. By the way, here is some statistics related to Canada's Children's Right Council, Statistics Canada Center of Justice Statistics. According to Statistics Canada, the government of Canada's Statistics Agency, when a child is unalived in Canada, it's usually at the hands of a relative, not a stranger. Family members were found guilty in almost 2/3, 63% of the 1,990 solved cases of children and youth homicides in children, or rather in Canada between 1974 and 1999, according to Statistics Canada. 27% of the unalive murdered were committed by acquaintances and only 10% strangers. Think about that, y'all, a moment, right? That's huge. That's huge. 63% is by a family member. 27% is by someone familiar, and less than 10% is by just a random off the wall stranger. That tells you that it's generally someone that these children know. And it's usually family. Family members were found guilty in almost 2/3, 63% of the 1,190 homicides in Canada between 1974 and 1999. 27% was unalived, where committed by acquaintances, someone they know. Maybe not closely, but they're affiliated with them in some way, shape, or form, and 10% of strangers. When it comes to parents unaliving their own children, the number of mothers accused almost equals the number of fathers accused between 1974 and 2000. 460 fathers and stepfathers were accused of unaliving their children, compared to 400 mothers and stepmothers, according to Statistics Canada. 2003, there were 33 homicides committed against children under the age of 12. 2003 was the lowest number in 25 years. Of these victims, 14 of them, or 42%, were under 1 year of age. Of the 27 solved homicides against children, 23 were unalived by parents, 9 by the father, 4 by the stepfather, 10 by the mother, and 1 by the stepmother. In one incident, both parents were accused. In addition, 2 children that were unalived by their daycare provider and 2 by a stranger. Considering Canada's population is 33 million, there are thankfully, I can't see what it says. Thankfully, something children unalived. The majority of the family perpetrated homicides against children under the 18 of years of age are committed by parents. Over the past 3 decades, 1977 to 2006, 90% of family-related unaliving victims under the age of 18 were unalived by parents, including stepmoms and parents, mom and dads, and adopted parents, but excluded other social parents such as foster parents, right? And that's very, very interesting. So more than 9 times out of 10, if a child is, unalived within a home, or they go missing and there's no evidence of that, it is 9 times out of 10, it is something within the home. Aimlessly says, I still think the stepdad did something to them in Europe. I personally think that both of these parents have to know. I think they have to know. I don't see how they could live in this little trailer, have 3 kids, all under the age of 6, and one of them not know. Right? Like how, I mean, they were both laying in bed, and they both say way different stories. Absolutely way different stories, but they say, we both jumped up. I don't even know why. I still wonder if even mom's family believes her. They couldn't believe her because she said they both jumped up and they're blaming him. Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. If you're blaming him, then she's going to have to know too.
Collecting security camera footage and trail camera footage from residents who live near, in, and around the search area.
Bingo,
One of
Stillwater.
those residents CBC News spoke with lives about 5 kilometers as the crow flies from the home from which these children disappeared back on May 2nd. That's again when they were reported missing by their stepfather and mother. Now, we know that this woman that spoke with CBC News has an extensive property. She says that she has 7 different cameras, whether it's trail cameras or driveway cameras, one that's pointed at her driveway, others that are out in the woods and different trails, looking in different directions.
Let me say this as well. I also think that it is very, very possible that Daniel's brother and mother know as well. I think it's highly possible because if something happens, right? Let's say and this is just an example. I'm not saying this happened, but I'm using this as an example. Let's say, for example, that mom and dad wake up and there is the kids OD'd on something, right? They found something, they got into something, they left something out. And they are naturally going to freak the hell out when that happens, right? They're going to freak out. Who the hell's not going to freak out whenever your kids are missing or, laying there, something happened? They're probably going to call everyone on that property, meaning brother, meaning mother. Oh my God, get over here. Something is wrong. Right? And I wonder if that's the reason they have been rather quiet. I wonder that quite a bit. For all, I mean, did they help in any sort of way? But you wake up one morning and something happened, you're going to call everyone on that property, most likely. And if they didn't call, right, then you would think that Daniel's mom and brother would have noticed them going in and out of the house, late, whether it was late in the night or early in the morning, from their little motorhome thing that they live in. And why is her family blaming him? Well, Casey, that kind of gets to my next point. Because, I've spoken about how her family, Michaela's family couldn't even believe her if they are believing the story that her and Daniel told. right? Because they were supposedly sleeping together. But what if, again, this is speculation, don't consider this as a fact, don't run with it or anything like this. But what if, for instance, she left there, told her family what perhaps happened, some of the truth, a little of the truth, or whatever, or none of the truth for that matter. And she said, oh, for instance, again, speculating, OMG, Daniel brought in such and such in the house, right? And he didn't put it up. And the next morning we woke up finding Jack and Lilly, right? And that's why her family started going after Daniel and the family. I mean, regardless, I equally think they both know. In my opinion, I think they know. But I do think that mom is blaming Daniel for whatever she can, right? You don't go and you don't just fall out of love that quickly, right? And this is the time where the families should really be working together to find the kids, whether they disagree on anything, right? And this is where, if, in my opinion, if Lilly and Jack or Daniel and Malaya were, were really in bed and the story happened like it happened, they would be like, wait a minute, both sides of the family, wait a minute. We told you what happened. She and I were in the bed. Lilly poked her head in or came in the room a few times. We were dozing in and out of sleep. We told Lilly we didn't want her to wake up Meadow, told her to go play. Again, dozing in and out of sleep. And then a few minutes later, we didn't hear anything. We jumped up and they were gone, right? They were here 1 minute, the next minute, gone. So they're not believing each other. These families aren't. They're not believing each other's. They're pointing fingers. They're pointing fingers. So someone knows, someone in that side of the one side of the families, or both most likely, know more. And they're not coming out and talking about that. Because again, if you both experience the same thing, right? You both went to bed, you both put the kids down for bed, Thursday night, Lilly had a cough, you gave her medicine, whatever. You both went to bed together, you put down Meadow to sleep. You might have got up a time or two to go to the bathroom of the night or give her a bottle or something. And you both experience the same thing. You wake up, early in the morning, you check on, let's say she checked on Lilly at some point, whenever she decided she wasn't going to take her to school. If you have both experienced the same thing, then nobody should be blaming anybody. So she has either went and said something, or Daniel has went and said something to his family. Something is really off here. Allegedly, the father signed over his rights. Yes. Yes, I do believe that did happen. That is one thing. If Lilly was sick, why wasn't one of the parents looking after her? That's a good question. And that's another thing that makes me think that this entire story is bogus. is absolutely bogus, right? If Lily was sick, right, she should have had, she should have had humidifiers going, or some medicine where she's been giving Lily or something. Was that there? Don't know. Doesn't take two to put a baby to sleep. No, it doesn't. And I don't understand why they're both still laying in bed with Lily. I find it a story of convenience as well. Like I said, I personally think something happened Tuesday after those kids got off the bus, or Wednesday when they didn't conveniently have school already, because Thursday Lily has this supposed cough again. But Friday, they had to do something by Friday to let that, oh my God, she's missing. Red Moon says, I have a feeling that Daniel was being threatened by mom's family to stay quiet about the situation. Speculating, I think that's what all alleged an argument was. Obviously, no proof, just my thoughts. Sure. Daniel said he jumped in his car and checked every dirt road, etc. He should be on the footage they collected. Absolutely. What are you supposed to do for a sore throat? Well, I mean, if she has a fever or throat hurts or something, give them ibuprofen. You can give them Tylenol. You can, go to the store and get them some foods that doesn't irritate their throat, or popsicles or whatever. But I don't believe the cough necessarily, or she may have had a cough, but it had nothing to do, with this story. It was just kind of added in at some point. Daniel won't mention Thursday. Then not going to school just Friday. Right. Well, when you have a sick kid, I don't know about you, but if my kids are sick, I check on them. I'm a little obsessive probably than a lot of people, but I check on my kids several times a night whenever they're sick. I go in there, I feel their forehead, right? I make sure that they're clear, with, they're not too congested or anything. I check on the humidifier, I check the temperature of the room, all of that, because, if they're under the weather, a fever normally strikes anywhere from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And if you get the, like the ibuprofen in there, while they're around that time before the fever spikes, they wake up feeling a lot better. Let's get a screenshot from BioDads about why didn't she call him immediately upon kids going missing. You texted to me? I am too, Ginger. So, I mean, I get a little cray with that kind of stuff. What is this? Baby girl, why didn't you tell me, please, when this first happened? Yeah. Yep. This what I don't know if this was heard. I don't know if it's someone related to Michaela who said that, baby girl, why didn't you just tell me when this first happened? Please never hold nothing back from me ever again. I love you, baby. Next time something like that happens, you tell me right away, baby. I'm a tracker. Who is Henry Brooks? Is that her dad right here? I think that's her dad, right? And this is the thing, right? Like she's saying, or he's saying, and I do believe this text. I really do believe this text. Because this was written underneath of her post when all of this first started. He says, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?" To me, that lets me know that she was keeping things, in my opinion, from even her parents, right? And what is also going to be interesting is asking Daniel's brother, Daniel's mother, did you see, hear, or whatever? Did you hear Jack and Lilly or see them Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday morning? Did you see them or hear them at any time after they got off that bus Tuesday? And if so, when is the last time you seen or heard them? Right? Because, I mean, they could possibly lie and say, oh, yeah, we heard them, all throughout the week. Right? But they also may not lie and just say the truth whenever the last time they actually seen or heard them. Because there's nobody, absolutely nobody, that can account for Lilly and Jack seeing them, hearing them after they got off of that bus Tuesday. Nobody. Yes, very suspicious, not contacting her dad ASAP. Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of times people don't contact certain loved ones because they know if they're bullshitting or not. You just know your loved ones. You know your kids. You know, your husband, your wife, your ex, your boyfriend, girlfriend, you know them. I read where the father has been arrested for some sort of haven't heard that. Daniel also said she was running ahead of the Daniel also yes. Yeah. Yeah. You cannot run ahead of a helicopter. You just can't. It does not work that way at all. It just doesn't. Lisa, thank you so much. I don't know if I thanked you, dear. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. Good to see you, honey. 3 missing kids in our town, in our small area, is too much. We're always looking, even while doing errands. Dylan would be 7 or 8 now. Yeah. Yep. And I don't believe Dylan, rather. I don't believe Dylan just walked off either. I don't see it. I don't believe it at all. At all. It's just nothing that no, I just don't see it. All right, moving ahead here. Let's get to some more stuff. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, here we go. Oops, maybe.
It has been more than 2 weeks.
2 young children missing. It's hard on the entire community.
It has been more than 2 weeks since 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack were reported missing from their home. Police have said the children are believed to have wandered away from their property in Lansdowne Station on May 2nd. Premier Tim Houston, whose riding is in Pictou County, calls it a devastating time.
I know the authorities are running a professional, thorough search, but this is weighing heavy on the minds of certainly people in Pictou County, but well beyond as well.
A wide-scale search was carried out over 6 days, but efforts were scaled back on May 7th, with police saying there was little chance the siblings were still alive. However, more than 100 volunteers renewed the search over the long Victoria Day weekend, targeting specific areas around the road near their home. On Tuesday, RCMP declined our request for an interview for an update. In a statement, the Mounties say investigators and search managers will be reviewing information collected during the searches on Saturday and Sunday and determining next steps. The children's stepfather says he's thankful to all the people searching for Lilly and Jack, and he refuses to give up hope.
The scenario everyone's hoping for is we bring them home. That's the main objective. It's always been that from day one.
The disappearance has sparked rampant speculation on social media, much of it involving Martel. He calls it all nonsense and says he's had nothing to do with the disappearance.
It will never be enough for a lot of people online. I mean, everywhere I go, people stare. But that's something I have to live with until, the truth makes its way out. And the truth always makes its way out.
Sky Bryden Blom, Global News, Halifax.
Damn. He says the truth always makes its way out. Well, I hope, Daniel. Did they check their cars and trucks? I'm sure that they have. I really wish they would stop saying wandered away. There is no evidence of them wandering away. There's not. There's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea if they did, DRUGS or not. But what I can say is I think that by some of their older pictures that I have showed in the past, there's some interesting things that, let me show you. There's a lot of interesting but I will say the kids always look clean. They always did look clean. I certainly don't see any tears from mom or stepdad. You don't even see mom. You know what I mean? They're beautiful kids. So he apparently has the other kids in his life. My hope is that Daniel is innocent. I hope both of them are innocent. There's never, the last thing you want is anyone having something to do with the disappearance of a child, right? You want this, if anything, if they're not out there safe, you want this to be just a very unfortunate accident. That's the best outcome if they're not out there safe. You know what I mean? And she writes, a few things on her kids and stuff, but it's mainly to Daniel, about her undying love of Daniel. She wrote that quite a bit. I mean, the kids are beautiful, and I think this is the trailer from the inside, and to me it looks fine. It's, if this is the trailer, it looks clean, and she looks fine. But things can change really quickly as well. They look like just any ordinary couple to me. I think so. I mean, I think But there are some photos out there with some questionable stuff on the face. This gives me Leilani vibes. You're not the first one to say that. I've heard a lot of people say that. Daniel has changed his looks, though. He is a lot thinner than he used to be. Right. All these kids are beautiful. Yeah. Their looks changed drastically. Well, I mean, he's lost a lot of weight. This is where Daniel is quoted and saying, "She went out of the room," meaning Lilly, "and I could hear Jack in the kitchen. A few minutes went by. I heard nothing. Got up, went out in the kitchen, checked everything. I seen that they weren't there. Checked their bedrooms and they weren't there." Quote, end quote. Quote, "So I looked out the backyard. That's the only other place they would go. And their boots were gone. The sliding door, was closed. Usually, they don't close the door. I usually have to remind them to close the door over and over." Then Martel says he jumped in his vehicle and started looking for them. Now, why aren't you looking like around the woods of your property? Right? Not getting in your car and going up dirt roads. Why are you not looking around the woods in your property? But this is where it gets crazy. Quote, "I searched every dirt road and searched every culvert as fast as I could until I got back and seen RCMP there. And they wouldn't let me back in the woods until there was a guy dressed in military gear. He allowed me to jump back in the woods. So I jumped the back fence and continued my search," end quote. And he says, quote, "The house is just silent. There's no magic in the air. It's just silence. That's really all I can say." Right? Here, Martel has said he was in the bedroom with his partner and their baby when he last saw Lilly and Jack on the morning of May 2nd. He recalled that Lilly was wearing a pink top when she had poked her head in the door in their bedroom prior to departing. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads out into the backyard open and close. Martel had estimated within a quote few minutes he set out to find the children, driving his vehicle on the back roads and looking into culverts for them without success. Daniel Martel has repeatedly expressed concern that the children may have been abducted. However, according to the police, there's no evidence. It's always they've been abducted, check the borders, check this, check that. Now, he also stated something about, well, here he says he heard the screen or the sliding door. Everything else, he doesn't hear the sliding door. He also said that he thought Lilly and Jack might have went and got some bugs and some grass for the chickens. And he thought they might have been out there, feeding the chickens as well. Which is, you can understand them going and feeding the chickens, right? They're kids. Here he describes Lilly and Jack as vulnerable and autistic. Quote, "We never cross the road. We have cabins we built up in the woods, and that's where usually as far as we would take them," end quote. Quote, We were in the room laying down, me, Malay, and baby Meadow, and Lily poked her head in a couple times. I seen she was wearing a pink t-shirt, and we usually don't like them to be too loud because they are going to wake up the baby. We want the baby to get as much sleep as possible, end quote. He says it was an estimated of 20 minutes to notice the two children were gone. Now, if two children are gone, a 4 and a 6-year-old, again, why are you jumping in your car after 20 minutes? They're not going to go that far. Right? They're just not going to go that far. All right. Yes, and here is where Daniel kind of talks about that Jack could be wearing brown pants and a shirt. So Jack may not be just in a diaper as first stated, right? Daniel says, I'm really hopeful that they find something. I'm grateful for each and every one of them to take the time out here to go through black flies and go through these forests are absolutely so dense. It's hard on everyone. It's hard on me. It's hard on Malaya, the mother of the children. It's hard on the families. He said, I mean, it's been hard on the search and rescue guys because they don't want to feel like they're failing us for not anything. I don't know. You see this in a lot of, in my opinion, suspect cases like Lilly and Jack's case, like Summer Wells' case, like Sebastian Rogers' case. It's one thing to thank the searchers and all of them. It's another thing of, saying, these searchers are getting all tore up and, they don't want to let us down and all of this. That's, I don't know. To me, you're setting up something that you know that they're not going to find them. That's what I feel like, in my opinion. I don't know. Quote, I know everyone has done their best to conduct the search. I know that they can't continue forever, but we remain hopeful. As a parent, you would be like, no, you continue until you find these kids. They're out there. Lily and Jack are out there. They walked out. They've got to be out there. Right? But he's continually talking about how they're getting tore up. And I know they can't search forever. And I know that they're sad because they're letting us down. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. All right. Please forgive me. We have no idea if if Daniel even ever took the polygraph at this point. We have no idea. Not a clue, not a single clue about this. And that's what's very interesting to me. Okay, hold on one second. I was looking for something. Trying to find something, but I'll find it in a little bit. What's my theory? My opinion is that they went missing Tuesday evening or sometimes Wednesday. I think that's when they went missing, in my opinion. And that I think there was an accident of some sort, in my opinion. But that's just me. Okay. The RCMP had previously said that the siblings were believed to have wandered away. They noted that there is no evidence of abduction, so it didn't qualify for an Amber Alert. A lengthy and widespread search of 160 people ensued that covered 5.5 square kilometers of heavy wooded rural terrain with search dog helicopters and drones. There's just no way they're going to get out of that search area. Those two, it's just not going to happen. Not by themselves. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. I don't see it. All right, moving on here. Bear with me for 2 seconds as I pull something up here. It's just very, very highly unlikely, if you ask me. Missing, or I don't think they're still alive. I don't. I hope I'm wrong. I hope. One second. Missing 411. David presents 2 children from the Royal Nova Scotia. I'm going to look at this real quick. Okay. Where did that go? Where's Deception Detective thingy? I didn't cover this one the other day. We got to cover it. Okay. This one. I wasn't live for it the other day, so here we go.
When she said this, when he said that, they're pointing fingers and maybe towards very innocent people. So in fairness to them and the RCMP, that we just need to back off on that and let things happen.
One of the things, Chris, that comes up as well is the fact that if this story perhaps had happened in a bigger center, this would be a story that would be headlines every day. 2 young children disappeared without a trace, massive investigation, yet it...
But it seems like the media is already forgetting about them. Right? When's the last time they've...
doesn't seem to have that kind of attention here in Canada.
They lecture and threaten all the amateur sleuths speculating about Lilly and Jack Sullivan's disappearance in one breath and then wonder why no one's talking about the case in the next.
Yeah.
So today's video, I want to show you one of my favorite...
Deception Detective. They bitch one way or the other, right? Oh, why is no one covering the case? And then when you cover the case and you say your opinion or, a theory, they're like, these people are... You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, you can't win. You can't win. A fight went missing before Friday. After they went missing, there was a couple blowups in the
professional opinions about this case to date. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation, so if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives, early access, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel.
Yes, Lilly apparently wears a lot of pink.
Channel member, link in description. Despite that news anchor's complaints, this case is international news. So if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume you're at least familiar with the basic case facts about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. But you might not have been following my personal analysis of the case. So just in case you haven't, I've done a couple videos about this guy, Chris Lewis, who used to be the head of the Ontario Police Department. And his opinion about the case and the investigation are among my favorites of any public commentator.
Yeah, KCC, I'm not willing to say that, what Lilly and Jack were wearing was found in their home or anything, because how does any creator know that? You know what I mean? Like, How do they know that, what they were allegedly wearing? I didn't get a text from you, dear. That's what, I just wouldn't understand how they know that, what they was. I mean, there's a lot of pictures with Lilly that wears a lot of pink. You know what I mean?
However, I don't like being lectured, and I'm sure you don't like being lectured either. So in today's video, let's watch an interview with a retired canine handler whose opinion on this case is one of my favorites to date. And best of all, this interview is new, so it takes into account lots of the recent twists and turns in the investigation. All right, without further ado, let's watch.
There's still no sign of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Glenn Brown is having a hard time wrapping his head around that. The retired RCMP dog handler of 26 years says it's baffling to him the children are still missing after such wide-scale searches that included upwards of 160 search and rescue personnel, dogs, helicopters, and drones.
I find it hard to believe that a 6 and 4-year-old would just disappear like that. I guarantee you, if I was still working today, that'd be the thing you'd be racing around your mind.
I think now the RCMP is in full investigation mode, in my opinion. I think it's full investigation mode. They are running the tracks of not so much Lilly and Jack. I think they're running the tracks of said individuals who took them out of that home.
Mind all the time. Like, where would they have gone? Like, we have done everything. I think the last thing I read, they searched a square kilometer area, 5 kilometers. That's a big area. That's a big area, and that's meticulously searched.
That's the first reason I like this retired canine handler's opinion on this case, because he's not walking the party line the way that Chris Lewis is. He's pointing out that if the search were as diligent as it should have been, they should have turned up something if the kids actually wandered into the woods. And coincidentally, in a separate news clip that's less than 24 hours old,
3 things, three cases that Sebastian Rogers case, Summer Wells case, Jack and Lilly case, parents left the home at some point. Most parents, you can't drag them from their home 10 years later, let alone a couple days or a week or 2. You can't do that, right? Don and Candace, they went to Arkansas. Edgar and KK, they went to sitting in a 5th wheel trailer. The mom of Malaya, she went to her mom's place, allegedly. Am I muted, or did I go deaf? I think you went deaf. Yep.
we have them admitting just that they were not as diligent as they should have been. Here's a little bit of that.
Melissa Scott's trail cameras might contain clues about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. RCMP asked her for days of footage as the investigation into the missing children approaches the 3-week mark. This is some of the footage Scott gave police. She says RCMP major crimes officers came to her home this week, asking for everything on her 7 cameras, starting April 27th, 5 days before the kids were reported missing. 2 of Scott's neighbors were also asked to provide footage.
I mean, Edgar and Dawn and Candace, they're so shady. You got to put SPF on to even listen to them. It's bad.
To RCMP. She says the officers also asked about her family's vehicles to rule out local traffic in the footage. This road is the most direct path from Scott's property to the home the kids went missing from. We drove between the 2 places. It's about an 18-minute drive down rough dirt roads, straight through the woods. Scott's property to local traffic in the footage. There's also asked about her family's vehicles to rule out local traffic in the footage. This road is the most direct path from Scott's property to the home the kids went missing from. We drove between the two places. It's about an 18-minute drive down rough dirt roads. Straight through the woods, it's about 5 kilometers.
That's
I
right.
did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage. And they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier.
RCMP would not answer.
There's so many red flags. So many red flags. It's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, I mean, it's like joining Six Flags, but there's so many red
For
flags.
CBC's questions.
My goal here isn't to be critical of the RCMP. If you've seen my other videos in this series, you'll know that I have full faith in them and I give them a lot of credit. More credit than the people in my comment section think I should. But my point is, before they lecture people like myself online for speculating about the case, I've seen other people in my comments point out that they should be looking for trail cams within the first day of the disappearance.
Yep.
And ask the neighbors if they'd voluntarily let them check their camera footage. Let's keep watching.
If I was still working today, that'd be the thing to be, you'd be racing around your mind all the time. Like, where would they have gone? Like, we have done everything.
The children were reported missing from a home on Gairloch Road on May 2nd, sparking a 6-day search that was eventually scaled back. Then, over the weekend, 115 search and rescue crew members were called back. RCMP have not said what prompted them to return, but Brown says it's not unusual to restart a search. He says there are a number of reasons police may call crews back, including tips or new evidence. But if that was the case, that information likely was not known by the search crews or even police officers on the ground.
That's the second big point I agree on, because I've been saying ever since the search was resumed after being briefly paused that it might have been employed by the RCMP to see how the parents would react. That could be what's going on here with the RCMP. They were waiting for some sort of bizarre behavior from either of the parents when they thought the search was over. But they could have also been watching the parents to see if they did anything that provided new leads.
Guys, make sure you're texting at the 307-228-4906 number.
To them, like driving to a remote location all of a sudden now that they thought no one was watching them, or resuming communication with each other after they made a big hoopla about not doing that anymore, and potentially saying something incriminating or suspicious, like syncing up their stories or expressing how happy they are that they got away with it, or anything else. But we'll probably have to wait a long time to find out if my hunch about that development being a ploy is correct.
Thank you so much, Adopt a Cat. Very kind of you, my friend. Hello, I'm new to your channel. I like you a lot, and I enjoy your videos when you went to Bucky. Oh, thank you, Adopt a Cat. Thank you so much, my friend. Really do appreciate your support, my dear. Good to see you. Hi, Soldier Girl and Ginger. You don't have a Bucky's in LA? Oh, you should. If you ever go to Texas, they have a lot of Bucky's there. There's lots of Bucky's in Texas.
Because the Canadian police are so tight-lipped, they are masters of tactical silence. That's a clip from the video I put out the day that the search resumed for Lilly and Jack, and it seems to have been pretty prescient based on what this K9 handler said, that the RCMP is in the habit of not telling their searchers or even their own officers if that's what was going on. They just tell them where.
Well, I think, there's 3 different directions you can get to where that woman has the trail cams. And they're kind of back roads, if you will. So I don't know. I mean, if Lilly and Jack were taken out, there's only so many ways you can go. Right? And so within that point, they had to go one way or another. They have checked how many kilometers? I think it was like 4 kilometers. So I think they're looking outside of that right now. And I think they're just looking for, they're going to ask, for instance, Lily, or not Daniel and mom and Daniel's family, you know, where all have you went since the 27th? Let's go day by day. Everywhere, if you left your home at any point after April 27th, let's go day by day and tell me where you went, the approximate time you went, and you know, what routes you took and what routes you came back. Now, if they're going to check those, and then any day, any time outside of that, if they didn't they went somewhere, they're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Bingo, Pippi. Bingo. Yes. No CCTV footage at local stores. There's not really anything around them at all. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of anything around them. Both parents are saying can't hear sliding doors. Daniel ends up saying after several previous statements, he heard the sliding door open. That is a huge red flag. Yes. Geofencing is key here. Where were their cell phones? Unfortunately, geofencing takes time. It can take time. It should. I mean, if they went out at any sort of distance, right, their cell phones should be on. For instance, if they have, they're doing geofencing or whatever, and they line them up with these trail cams, right? And their cameras are on, or their cell phone is on, that's a good thing. But if they see Daniel or mom or any of the family members passing by this home and a phone can ping in the vicinity and they don't have their phone on, that's going to be a big problem. For instance, if they took their phone with them any day after the 27th and they're out and their cell phone is off for a significant period of time, not just pinging, I'm talking about shut off. They'll be able to pull a report and it'll tell them how long their phone was off, what day it was, the approximate time that was, turned off and turned back on. That is when they probably know that if something was being done, it is likely within those time periods. Right? Because let's be honest, we don't turn our phones off. We don't turn our phones off. They're always on. They're always on. And why would your cell phone be turned off at any point? Justin, I just realized how close they are to the Atlantic Ocean. That really worries me. They are very close. Very, very close. Question, does anyone know the deal with where the mom is now? She's on native land. I don't think she's on native land. She was, but I don't think she is allegedly. I think she is, but I think she's on a different native land, perhaps not her mom's. Maybe after the live, one of you mods can check. I'm not getting any text messages. I don't know. People saying check your text messages, but I'm not getting anything. It might be my phone. I don't know. We're having storms here, so it could be. We forget passwords. Hey, Holly, what gets me is the lack of scream. Lily was notorious for screaming spontaneously at school via teachers and bus drivers and the mom at the birthday video, she would have screamed her head off, in my opinion. I think that's a great point. I think that's a very good point. She's a loud screamer, isn't she? And you would think, just let's say she got out of the yard, right, and she got scratched on a couple, brush or briars or trees. She's going to start crying. She's 6 years old. She's going to start crying. Hey, Betty, good to see you, hon. Kids at age didn't walk off with them. No, not a bit. Not a bit. Hold on. Maybe I'm getting it on my. Hold on. I might be getting it on my phone, but just not on my computer. Let me check. Nope. Still not getting any text messages. Nope. Nothing. Still nothing. Kids do leave home if home is scary, though, even at that age. If they do, they're found. You know what I mean? If they do, they're found. There's some sort of scent. There's some sort of article clothing that's found, a footprint, a shoe print, a sighting of some sort. My phone is turned on. Yes. Justin, my text hasn't been coming through either. I get ready for bed a few nights ago. Well, earlier, right before I went live, it sounded like my phone was like a slot machine, like a bunch of text all came in at once. I just don't see the kids walking out that early in rather icky weather. Well, Daniel said if they get cold, they come inside. Right? They didn't like to get cold or anything like that. So no belief they would go in the woods. I, as an adult, got lost in local woods and had to call hubby to the rescue. What if they are using burner phones? Still doesn't matter. They'll still be able to check. They'll still be able to check for sure in that. All right.
To go look, they don't tell them why.
He says there are a number of reasons police may call crews back, including tips or new evidence. But if that was the case, that information likely was not known by the search crews or even police officers on the ground.
They may tell them, we got a tip, and we just want you to go in that area and search and see if you find anything. They're not going to tell you exactly what is in the tip. It's not going to do it. They don't even tell their own people that, unless you are in the know, right? Unless it's like you're in that investigative group.
RCMP's major crime unit has been involved since the day after the children disappeared. They say every missing persons investigation is considered suspicious until they have reason to believe otherwise. An RCMP spokesperson would not answer specific questions about this latest search, but says officials will be reviewing the information collected and determining next steps.
As I've consistently said, I wish them the best. I hope they solve the case.
I do too. Thank you, Deception Detective, as always. Yesterday, the RCMP made a very, very, very brief statement because it was International Missing Children's Day. Over the past 3 weeks, several agencies have participated in ground and air searches in Lansdowne Station as part of an ongoing investigation into the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. The Nova Scotia RCMP thanks the hundreds of volunteers who scoured the area for the two children. The RCMP officers continue to assist the following the follow up on all aspects of this missing persons file. Investigators thank the many Nova Scotia who have contacted police with tips. Anyone with information who hasn't yet spoken out to officers is asked to call the Pictou County District RCMP 902-485-4333 or remain anonymous. Contact the Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-TIPS. Now, Evil Exists did a very short video. I want to y'all subscribe to Evil Exist. I will put a link in the description for the replay crew. Evil Exist does a very good creator who does short bites of content and does a very good job. Let me put their link here, and I'll put that in chat as well. Okay. Here we go.
That another weekend has gone by with no sign of siblings, Jack and Lilly Sullivan. It doesn't seem like any searches took place. In fact, it looks like police are taking a whole different approach to the case now. They're scouring the neighborhood and local shops for footage from the days leading up to the children's disappearance. To me, that suggests they may believe the children vanished way before they were reported missing. Time will tell, but I hope there is movement in the case soon. Someone that didn't speak out at all is the biological father. It was said that he had no contact with the children at all. Today, we heard from his aunt, and what she has to say is pretty interesting. The aunt says that the biological dad was interrogated for 4 hours, as well as the grandmother of the kids. They never saw the kids in a year and a half because the mother keeps the kids away. They didn't want them to know where they lived or anything because
okay, so it had been a year and a half. She says that they have not seen the case, or they have not seen the kids because allegedly mom keeps the kids away. Now, that could be true. It may not be true. It could be the dad didn't want anything to do with them and it just sounds better. I don't know.
Look what kind of house they were living in. They only live 40 minutes away. This aunt has been speaking out in the comments on Facebook about what she believes happened to the kids. She thinks they are not close to him because the dogs couldn't pick up a scent. She feels they were taken far away in a vehicle or on a quad. She says here that the kids didn't go into the woods and they have dogs on the property. If someone abducted them, the dogs would have made a noise. She says the kids are probably in Halifax Harbor. Someone on Facebook asked this aunt why the biological father is not doing anything to find his kids. This is a question that many of us have asked from the beginning. According to this aunt, it's because he doesn't want to be around those people. I don't think it's a good enough excuse though. His children are missing. It doesn't matter who he wants to be around or not. His main priority should be finding the children, speaking to the media to keep their story and faces out there. It's just been silence from his side. The dad's mother has been posting regularly about the children on her Facebook page.
And that's the question, Adopted Cat.
After nearly 3
how in the hell do they support themselves? Right? They don't even tell their own people that unless they're okay. We've already went to cover that. How do they? I don't know how they support themselves, to be honest with you. That's the question. I mean, they say that they get some sort of monthly support from the government having kids in Canada, but that's still not enough. That's still not enough. Right? And working 1 day a week, it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder how, if they are out there. Okay, I got some text just now. What's this? Okay, Uncrime. I've never seen this channel. Uncrime, Untold Crime and Affairs. Here, I'll drop their link. Untold Crime and Affairs. I'll drop it in chat as well. Someone just said to look at this channel. I just got a text. Nope, that's not it. 1 second. Untold Crime and Affairs. Maybe. What'd I do with it? Okay, here it is. We're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting it. 2 seconds. All right.
Nova Scotia, a desolate strip where the woods guard secrets and truth slips away. On May 2nd, 2025, 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack vanished from their trailer home, leaving toys frozen in time, and a stepfather, Daniel Martell, whose story crumbles under scrutiny. Did Lilly and Jack wander into the forest, or does the truth hide inside that trailer's walls? Tonight, we expose Daniel's shadowy past, a mother's desperate escape, and a community haunted by what they saw.
I just want to say that I cannot verify anything in this video because I have not seen it yet. So I just want to kind of put that out there.
Or missed. Help keep Lilly and Jack's story alive. Smash the like button, share this with someone craving answers, and comment with your theories or the time you're watching. It fuels their story's reach. If you're new to Untold Crimes and Affairs,
we immediately jumped in the vehicle, gone. I mean, ever since
Kill the Soul.
Friday morning, last few days have been very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone, immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there. Awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone. They're just looking to have as much fun as they can. Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs.
I don't know about that. Would they go with anybody?
Anything like that. But Lilly loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
Daniel Martell's words paint a picture of loving kids, but his story raises chilling questions. A 33-year-old lumber mill worker, he clocks 1 day a week, barely enough to support Malehia Brooks Murray, their 16.
I've never seen this picture of them, actually. This is one picture. I thought I had them all. I have not seen this photo of these two. He looks really skinny there. Really skinny there. Very skinny.
18-month-old daughter Meadow and stepchildren Lilly and Jack. The Chronicle Herald reveals he inherited the Gearlock Road trailer after his father's death a decade ago, living beside his mother, Linda Martell, in a camper overrun with cats and a dog. Described as reclusive by neighbors, Linda's camper was visited multiple times by the RCMP, yet no interview details have emerged. Did she hear Lilly's pink boots or Jack's dinosaur boots that morning? Her silence is a question mark. Neighbors offer glimpses of the family's life. Madison Spears, whose daughter played with Lilly and Jack at Lansdowne Community Hall birthday parties, told the Chronicle Herald the family was private, but not strange. Daniel was polite but guarded, often fixing cars in the yard.
I'm going to show you guys something. This is a text message from that allegedly Janie McKenzie has already said she saw the kids after supper on Thursday. if she lied, I would be very surprised. Hold on, I'll show you this. Look at this. Make it bigger for y'all. See if we can zoom in a little bit more. So this is Daniel's mom. I am too, Pink Warrior. She's talking about Diddy, though. Nancy is right now. So that's interesting. So if she allegedly says she saw them after supper on Thursday, I want to know, what kind of supper, what were the kids acting like, what were they wearing? Does not ring true to me since they only moved there 2 years ago and getting it when his dad passed away 10 years ago. What about the other siblings, like the brother? He got nothing. Agree. I don't understand. I mean, I get it that, if mom owns the property, I don't understand why she's in that little RV. Casey, this is Daniel's mom. This is Daniel's mom. And let's see here. Right here, it says, someone just sent these to me. Show you this. The kids were last seen Thursday night when they went to bed. They were heard playing in their room at 8:30 Friday morning, and stepdad fell back to sleep and woke up to silence. They couldn't find the kids and called 911 around 9:40. It said, the dispatch says 8 o'clock. Hey, Nick. Maybe she cuddles her son. That would be a little weird, if you ask me. That would be a little weird at this age. I'm just saying. Did y'all see the film as a kid about Stranger Danger? Maybe she needed the money and rented the trailer to them. Maybe, but I just can't imagine living in that little RV with your son, man. And that thing is rough. Yeah, I know they have a bigger family, but damn, she's a really good person, I guess. That's something I could think of. According to the rumors, the brother moved in with the mom not long ago. About a week ago, someone in chat said they were squatters on someone's property. Not sure who was a squatter. Hey, Laffaday. Again, the kids vanished. Add the list of Summerwell, Sebastian. At least the time the kids are supposedly wearing shoes, boots, allegedly, saying sarcastically. Yeah. That's the... Enoch, that's how I feel, to be quite honest with you. I feel like Daniel has a temper. That's just the feeling that I get. I think he has a temper. Thank you, Blue Eyes. I still think the way Daniel was acting at the birthday party is odd. Why was he not singing happy birthday? Yeah. I think he's sensitive, but I also think he's got a temper. Did the father leave him or his mother the property? I have no idea. I don't trust either one of them. I don't trust either one of them. Does the parents have any friends visit them before they went missing? I mean, I don't think anybody visits out, I mean, you're so far out. There's not, visitors per se. Wonder why wife didn't inherit trailer land. Why did she move to the trailer beside the home? Don't know. Sometimes you gotta laugh and break the stress. You do. It gets so heavy. Daniel is trying too hard to look like the good stepdad. I mean, I give Daniel credit. I give him credit. At least he will get up and do an interview. But I do feel like he's got a bad temper. And, what also worries me is Daniel and Malaya, they have a kid together, right? Was Jack and Lilly, were they the outsiders because of that? You see that a lot of times. Shouldn't be, but you see it like that a lot of times. You know what I mean? And there's one thing that you see in all of these cases, generally speaking, is there is a step parent, or there is drugs, or there is a lot of CPS cases. You see it in a lot of them. Daniel's parents could have been divorced. Yeah, that's true. We don't know. In my opinion, I thought we saw a Facebook message. What did my dear Maurice say? How's Mama Maurice? I thought that we saw a Facebook message from the dad earlier. They have get-togethers because there's nothing else to do. I think he put the same heart into Jack and Lilly that he doesn't. He may have in the bushes. He may have. I hope. 4 adults and nobody heard a car pull up or kids outside. I don't know. I've pretty much stayed from day one that either both of them know or those kids just walked out. And for whatever reason, there's nothing. And I don't believe that. Let's count how many of these disappeared kids disappeared after CPS got involved. But before CPS helped the missing kids. 3. What did Ruby say? What did Miss Ruby say? I missed it, I guess. Ruby, where are you? I don't. Hey, crying out loud. Good to see you. I don't see Ruby. How far up was Ruby's question? When someone says, great question, that's what I want to see. But I don't see Ruby anywhere. Was it... I don't know, what was that? Was it his dad in the video flipping out on TikTokers? Yes. That you're right. You're right, Hatters. It was. It was. He was flipping out on that TikToker. You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. It was dad or uncle. I still think the mom wanted out. She's done something with the kids. Yeah, Rita, but they gotta know. Like, he's gotta know. It was someone related to him. No, it wasn't his brother. Wasn't his brother. He's an older guy. He was a much older guy. The birthday video, you've never seen it? Yeah. Hold on. Let me find it. You're going to see Lilly and Jack kind of cry. They're like, there's a lot of kind of screaming. Here it is.
In 6 days since Lilly and Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home in Nova Scotia. This is a video from Jack's second birthday party that the mother, Malaya, had posted onto her Facebook. I'm going to show you guys the video, but real quick, if you saw my video from yesterday, I shared a bunch of aerial view photos of their home and made mention that the backyard is completely fenced in. People were dropping comments saying that it's not actually 100% fenced. Over here, there's a gap, and people say that the kids easily could have gotten out of that space or even crawled over the fence since it's not very high. Now, I thought that part was an open gate, but people are saying no, it's actually a hole in the fence. So I just wanted to correct that first. But in my opinion, these photos are still a huge red flag because there, speak out that hole in the fence there. To be quiet. Liam, come sing.
I think that Daniel looks like, I don't think he looks mad or anything. I just think he looks like, holy shit, what's going on kind of thing. Like, sort of amused in a sense, I guess. Watch his face. Watch his face. She's got some lungs on her. Now remember, she's may have autism. Bless her heart. I don't think he looks mad or anything. Personally, I don't think so. I just think he's like, you know, when like someone's like screaming and you're recording, you're like, it's kind of like what we're gonna do kind of things. He doesn't ask Lilly why she's screaming. No, he's just kind of letting it all play out. That's why I do when I hear Edgar's voice. I scream like that. Exactly. See, Lou. I don't know. When was her birthday? But you know, she can scream. She can scream. And I think if she would have gotten hurt around that house, like outside of the woods, I think she would have been screaming. Does anyone know if she still does that? My youngest is autistic and usually screams when people would sing. Yeah, it's just, I mean, they're excited and there's so much going on. I don't know, Sandwich. I don't think you should have done anything personally. October 29th. It surprised me quickly how she stopped when asked to. It could be more difficult than that with, I mean, perhaps. She screams actually hurts my inner ear. I don't either. Kelsey. I don't like to be sung to either for my birthday. It's kind of like, I don't like the attention. They do. Some people are just, and listen, some people, you're right. Some people just pick apart absolutely everything. And listen, nobody's life is perfect. Nobody. I don't think they had autism. Lily was just excited, quite normal. Perhaps. Like, do not. Yeah, like if I go out, like with friends on my birthday, I'm like, if you tell them it's my birthday and they sing to me, you're walking home. I don't care I brought my own car. You're still walking home because I'm going to flatten your tires. Their environment she lived in. I remember her grandparents screaming like that, but they're drama queens. Oh yeah. I don't like it. I won't eat, I'll be so nervous. Daniel just looks like, what the hell's going on? That's what I think. He's just kind of like, you know how guys are. My sister hates balloons. She's always screaming on birthdays. One of my girlfriends cannot stand balloons. And if there's like a birthday party or anything at my house and she walks in, like she's like, get the balloons out of here. Tylenol and Advil are poisons. Well, they might be, but they keep a fever down. I have a video of my 4-year-old at the time freaking out at Chuck E. Cheese when we sang to her. 2 of my 3 children would cry if we tried to sing happy birthday. Can't stand if a balloon gets popped. You text me. Oh, hold on. I just got something. Ooh, what's this? Daniel's brother? Yeah. I've seen that. That's some charges that he allegedly had in the past. Yeah, I showed that as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really, really do appreciate you. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. We'll be talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. So join me in about 30 minutes. Thank you, HH4. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Join us in about 30 minutes if you want to talk about the Sebastian Rogers case. I've got Seth's full interview and all that. I want to talk about that. It's incredibly, incredibly sad. Yep, we're going to talk about it, Mohawk. Sure are. And I've got some things I want to say on Sebastian's case as well. So I'll see you guys shortly. Love you guys. Really do appreciate you. Life is short. You get so many trips around the sun. Hug the ones you love and cherish them. Every day is a gift for sure. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.